Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Science TV News with me, Elvis Odhiambo, and my voicing interpreter, Irate. Let's focus on our news. The government has earned 157 million shillings from the newly introduced electronic travel authorization in the past week. Speaking during a tour of JKIA to assess the rollout of the program, Principal Secretary State Department of Immigration and Citizen Services, Julius Bitok, revealed that the country has received 32,000 applications from foreigners. According to data obtained from the Directorate of Immigration, out of the total applicants, at least 25,000 have already been cleared, 110 applications rejected for security reasons, while the balance is at various stages of processing.
With the ETA system, we have been able to collect $1 million in the last 7 days, which is really very impressive because this is money coming from the outside. This is foreign exchange for the people of Kenya. Of the 32,000 we received, 25,000 have been approved, all right, not 22,000. And the rest are still under the approval process. They are still going through the security checks. And of these 32,000, about 110 have been rejected for security reasons. With the new system now, we are able to, just like e-visa, we are able to tell people who are not allowed to come to Kenya for one reason or another. It could be because of reasons related to security, it could be related to terrorism.
We are developing the system and we are reviewing it every day basing on the feedback that we are getting. And one of the biggest issues was the upload of a bank statement that we thought maybe it wasn't necessary then.
On to our next news. Students joining Form 1 in day schools within Kiharu constituency are set to have their school fees subsidized, and others will enjoy a full scholarship complete with free uniform. This comes as an area member of Parliament, Ndindi Nyoro, launched an ambitious program under the National Government Constituency Development Fund. The initiative is aimed at enhancing access to education and improving transition to secondary school.
Ukiingiza mtoto form 1 katika hizo shule, term 1 tumekulipia na school fees tutakulipia. Wewe kama mzazi utaanza kulipia huyo mtoto school fees katika term 2, kwa sababu katika hizo 20 schools we are paying for the first term fees, and we are also buying uniforms for the form 1s. Tukaongeza kitu kingine hapa Kiharu, that the last Friday of every month katika day schools zetu zote 62, lunch ya wanafunzi watakuwa wanakula chapati hapa Kiharu. Mwanafunzi ama wazazi wale wamekubaliana na neno ya remedio ama tuition katika mashule zao, tumekubaliana na ora wa principals, hiyo remedio ama tuition isipite shilingi 1,000 hapa Kiharu. So 1,000 school fees in Kiharu, wale wako na remedio pia isipite 1,000, na hiyo tumekubaliana na walimu wetu hapa Kiharu.
Mheshimiwa Ndindi Nyoro, what you've done here in Kiharu is not just for the people of Murang'a and the people of Kiharu constituency, but is for the betterment of the Republic of Kenya, because there are very many Kenyans who are learning from what you are doing here in Kiharu, and we are replicating in our individual constituencies going forward.
Ndindi Nyoro, one day ukiendelea namna hii na kuunganisha sisi vile tunaungana hapa, sababu hatuna siri, you will be the president of the Republic of Kenya.
Asante kwa kuleta maarifa ambayo sisi wote tunaangalia kwa sasa.
Tarehe 1 Januari nilitangaza pia huko Chesumei kuwa mimi nitakuwa na hii program ya kusaidia wanafunzi. Sisi tunakutaka uende pale juu presidency.
Moving on, the battle to join the Judicial Service Commission and head the lawyers' body entered its home stretch Thursday, with several lawyers submitting their nomination papers ahead of the Friday deadline. The nominees, eyeing to be elected, pledged to champion for good governance and fair administration of justice for all citizens. The Law Society of Kenya is expected to conduct its general elections on the 22nd of January 2024.
The high time that we deepen and we automate all administrative processes within the judiciary. We expand the e-filing system to across the country so that justice can then be accessed easily, speedily.
We will be consequential, we will be strategic, and we will offer groundbreaking ideas to ensure that Law Society of Kenya plays its central role in the socio-economic and political development of this country, as provided for in the law.
My mantra really is to have a firm, bold law society. We need firm, bold action, unwavering commitment to the rule of law. We cannot have anything other than that.
We shall keep every institution in check without favor or without fear.
The LSK will not and shall not allow or sit back and watch anyone try to intimidate or threaten the judicial officers or the judges.
As a Nairobi representative, what I've looked at and what I've seen in this profession is that getting client has become a problem whereby there is a certain glitch that is able to get clients and even to get tenders.
The very heartbeat of legal practice is here in Nairobi, and we need a representative who is assertive, who is bold, and who is fresh to express the interest of the members of the Law Society of Kenya and to advocate and fight fearlessly for the interest and the welfare of the general public.
Moving on, Kenya has begun preparations for global conference that will connect local startups with over 100,000 businesses across the world. This is after the country last year received hosting rights for 2024 International Association of Science Parks and Areas of Innovation World Conference. Konza Technopolis Development Authority says it is now hosting local and international partner organizations as part of initial preparatory activities for the upcoming Global Summit that is scheduled to take place from September 24th to 27th in Nairobi. In a briefing yesterday, stakeholders have termed the conference as a defining event for Kenyan innovators and entrepreneurs.
ISP has a membership of over 350. That's science parks like Konza Technopolis in over 80 countries. And in these countries, Konza Technopolis bid and was able to win.
All these different science technology parks around the world, they gather all from the startups to the medium-sized enterprises, also to the big corporates. So really bridging academia, the marketplace, the corporates, and helping all the different innovative solutions come out in society and help address different problems such as climate change, sustainability, and other matters.
I think it will be good to see the global perspective that Kenya is looking at, not just being the East African leader, the African leader. We are also having very good initiatives like what we've just concluded, the Kenya-EU partnership agreement that will allow us again to grow our manufacturing, to grow our exports into the EU. We are also working at growing manufacturing products, exports into the US, the African market, the East African market, so that these industrial parks really contribute to increased manufacturing and increased exports into this area.
On to our next news. A delegation from the Judiciary Service Commission has visited Migori County to access the county courts and engage with judicial stakeholders. Head of the JSC delegation, Ms. Evelyn Olwande, said that JSC was currently engaging in a program of visiting the courts across the Republic. According to Olwande, they will also be engaging with the JSC stakeholders, the county governments being the biggest stakeholders, in areas of partnerships to collaborate and enhance access to justice.
Judicial Service Commission has indicated to us that they desire that we become partners in putting up of other judicial facilities so that our people have access to judicial services in Migori County. The law requires that every sub-county has a station, a judicial station, where people from that sub-county can access judicial services. On our part as a county, although it is not our core mandate to be participating in offering judicial services or infrastructure, we know that it is our fundamental right as the people of Migori that we have access to judicial services. It's our fundamental right. And when something is your fundamental right, it also becomes your fundamental duty to do what you must do to participate in creating an environment or an opportunity or opportunities to establish and support such services. So on behalf of my administration and my government, I want to say that we are working on how to allocate resources and including land that would be available to this institution, the Judicial Service Commission, so that we would be able to have these services available to our people. We live in a nation that is at crossroads. We live in a county that is diverse. We want all our disputes to be resolved in a civilized manner, in a manner that is fair to all of us. The only way of getting such services or realizing such rights is to ensure that we work together with the Judicial Service Commission and also with our members of Parliament and help put up those facilities.
The Judicial Service Commission is currently engaged in a program of visiting the courts across the Republic. We are divided into two teams. We have a team visiting the eastern side, and this team is visiting the western side. And in those visits, we are also engaging with our stakeholders, and the county governments are one of the biggest stakeholders that we have. And we're engaging to see areas of partnership, areas where we can collaborate to enhance access to justice to the citizenry of the county and also of the Great Republic of Kenya. We have discussed areas of collaboration with the county government of Migori, and I'm happy to report that they've promised to be supportive, especially in the area of provision of land. As you've heard the governor say, the law requires us to have a court in every sub-county. Migori has about 8 sub-counties. 5 of those have not, no, 4 of those have no courts. We've discussed Nyatike, where there is a mobile court and there's a court that was being constructed to see how the same can be completed. We've also discussed Ntimaru and there's Ntimaru and the other one escapes my mind right now. Mabera. We have a land in Mabera for construction of a court. And the county government has promised to give us support in terms of provision of land to be able to establish a court in these sub-counties. It is the mandate of the commission, not necessarily to vet, but to look into the complaints or petitions that have been filed against judges. And if the commission is convinced that there is grounds, then we forward the same to the president to appoint a tribunal to investigate the judge and see if there are sufficient grounds for the removal of that judge. The Commission is committed to its mandate, all its mandate, including the one on addressing matters of discipline of judicial officers and judges, and we've been carrying out that mandate efficiently. The challenge we are having is when now general statements are made and not specific complaints filed, then it's very difficult for the commission to move. When you appear and say generally the judiciary is corrupt, the judges are corrupt, there is very little that we can do. We have structures that have been put in place by our constitution and our laws, which we ought to follow to ensure that if there are any corrupt judges, then they are brought to book.
On to our last news item. Police were forced to use tear gas to disperse an irate mob that barricaded the Narok-Bomet highway after a young man was murdered by suspected robbers at K24 estate in Narok town. The demonstrators, most of whom were boda operators, had nabbed a middle-aged man whom they alleged was among the robbers suspected to be terrorizing people in the area. Motorists along the busy road that connects to Kisii and Nairobi counties were forced to wait for hours before the police contained the situation.
About 3 people, one of them have died. Last week, we also had other people that have been killed. We want to say that whoever is doing whatever they are doing, actually, we are just here not because of anything else. We just want to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. And as a peace ambassador, I cannot be speaking about peace while our people are being killed. I cannot speak about peace while the young people are being killed. And I'm saying that Kenyans are important, and especially the youth. Those are the people that are being killed. We want to request the government to come out clearly and save the lives of people. Especially Narok town. We are not only talking about Narok, we are talking about many people that have been killed in this county, especially. We want to tell the security team, because you are in charge of this, kindly come out, speak on behalf of those that cannot speak of themselves. Please come out and help people that are being killed day and night. And they are killing young people. They are killing people that have young children. And therefore we want to request that today, we cannot support such a thing that is going on every day, thinking that we are safe and we are not. Security is very, very important, and we want to request the leadership to come out.
Very enthusiastic that a very small town like this, watu wanaweza kushindwa kufanya biashara kama watu wanaweza kukosa kwenda manyumbani kwa amani kwa sababu ya insecurity. I want to send a message of appeal to the county commission of Narok and the sleeping county security team. We want you guys to address this issue. Otherwise, as a people, we are going to come together.
Welcome for sports news. Barcelona beat Osasuna in Saudi Arabia to set up a Spanish Super Cup final on Sunday with Real Madrid. Robert Lewandowski put Barca ahead in the 59th minute when he scored with a low shot before Lamine Yamal added Barca's second goal in the 3rd minute of added time. Barca have won the Spanish Super Cup a record 14 times and take on current La Liga leaders Real as they seek a 15th win. That's all we had for you, our viewers. Thank you for watching Sports News and Sports Science News, and thank you for joining us. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. You've been with me, Elvis Othiambo, and my voicing interpreter, Irate. Have a nice lunch.